Have you ever gone to a party at your friend's house over the weekend where people were saying that they were tripping on acid? Or have you ever felt its effects? Well, that means that you or your friends were taking doses of LSD-25, which is a Schedule I drug that is illegal in the United States. This semi-synthetic drug of the ergoline family can be taken orally, intravenously, ocularly, or intramuscularly. LSD-25 is best known for its psychological effects and its role in counterculture of the 1960s. So I will be going over some of the history behind this drug as well as the drug's effects. So before I go into these effects, I'll start off with some brief history. Albert Hofmann was a Swiss scientist best known for synthesizing, accidentally ingesting, and thus learning of LSD-25's psychedelic effects. After graduating with a degree in chemistry, he began working in a laboratory where he was working with the plant squill and the fungus ergo. This is when he began to research lysergic acid derivatives. This led Hofmann to first synthesize the drug LSD-25 on November 16, 1938. And this synthesis was originally to obtain a stimulant for the circulatory and respiratory systems. The substance was dormant for about 5 years until Albert decided to re-examine it. On April 15, 1943, Albert Hofmann accidentally ingested LSD while resynthesizing it. This is when he learned of its psychedelic effects and described his experience as a pleasant one that expanded his imagination and put him in a dreamlike state. And this was on April 19th, 1943, which is thus known as the first intentional acid trip. So because of Albert Hofmann, LSD-25 was synthesized and its psychedelic effects became known. So now that we know about these psychological effects, we can talk about them. There are several physical, psychological, and sensory effects that vary from person to person based on the personality and on the intensity of the dose. So as far as physical symptoms go, this drug is not considered addictive, but tolerance is built up by regular use. Some physical effects of LSD-25 include pupil dilation, wakefulness, and increased appetite, as well as other symptoms which could result from psychological effects, which include numbness, weakness, nausea, increase of heart rate, jaw clenching, perspiration, saliva and mucus production, and tremors. So those are the physical symptoms of the drug. Next, we'll move on to the psychological effects of the drug, which LSD-25 is best known for. The psychological effects of LSD-25 are unique and they vary from person to person. And these psychological effects are known as an acid trip. So acid trips vary based on the person, the environment, and the strength of the dose. Users have said that a good trip caused changes in personality and in life perspective, as well as experience of radiant colors and patterns, rippled movement of objects, morphing objects, and a loss of a sense of identity and expansion of time. If you're having a good trip, these things are very pleasant and pleasurable. But if you're not ready for the trip or you're in a negative environment where you don't feel comfortable, the person may experience a bad trip where they feel negative emotions and feel afraid. Sensory effects of this drug kind of go hand in hand with the psychedelic effects. LSD-25 causes the senses to be altered as well as emotions, time, memories, and awareness. The person will feel these effects for 6 to 14 hours on average, and within 30 to 90 minutes after ingestion, the user will feel these effects. As far as sight goes, the user will see an intensification of colors, a rippled movement of objects, morphing of objects, which go along with the psychological effects, animate movement of stationary objects. As far as taste, many have said that they taste a metallic-y type of taste in their mouth. Albert Hofmann even said that himself. And sound, users have said that there was a distortion of sound, an echo-like sound, inability to discern sounds, and an intensification of music. So overall, LSD-25 is a very unique drug. And once it was synthesized, and users began to experience the drug, they saw its psychedelic effects and how they affected their bodies. So the next time you're handed that tab of acid at a party, just ask yourself if you're ready for it.